And we got our adhesive on the battery. First we're going to start off by sticking the subboard, the power board, in. We got one screw that holds that down. There we go. Then we're going to take our power button flex / volume button, put that in. Screw that down. Just making sure that my buttons and stuff are working before I proceed on. Got 3 screws that hold that in. Feels good. Power button fell out. Just gotta throw that back in. There we go. Now we're gonna put our screw our power button actually in place. Next, we're going to throw our loudspeaker assembly in. And there's just one screw holding that down. Go ahead and throw our charging port back in. Actually, before we do that, we'll throw this flex in. This is the Wi-Fi flex. We're going to do this one first because this actually adheres down here. And it's just easier to do if you do it first. So. So we got that, we'll just put that down. Now we'll do the charging port flex. Next, we'll go ahead and actually stick the battery back in. We got our adhesive on there. Just going to kind of lift this up. And we're going to set this in. Again, the second, since it's got the adhesive, it's going to be kind of hard to align once you start dropping this thing down. How I do it is I set this in, and then I make sure that this battery or cell is all the way up to this flat point here. And then I drop her. And then I press firmly and make sure that everything is well adhered. And we'll go ahead and finish up what we did over here because we didn't plug this in. So just need to plug this in. There we are. Then we got the headphone jack, the front camera, and the microphone. Just leave it all plugged up. It's easier that way. Or plug it back together if you need to, or whatever. We're gonna have to back out this screw. Just needed to guide it in a little bit better. It wasn't pushed in all the way. This is the back camera. Make sure that's plugged in. Put this piece back in there. This little grommet. And last but not least, the motherboard. You got to plug in the Wi-Fi first, which we'll try to get you here. It's going to be hard to get this on film because it's so little, such a small connector. So we got that plugged in. Get the board in place. We're going to put down these screws before we plug everything else in. That way we know that it's not going to shift on us or anything. This screw right here is pretty important. It actually is making sure that the board's touching the terminals for the battery. So if that screw's loose or not screwed in at all, you'll constantly lose power on this thing. Play the rest of our flexes in here. Headphone jack, power board, loudspeaker, charging port. And I'll put these screws in. Plugging in the flex. Then we're going to plug in our LCD. And the trick to plugging this in, just grab it right back on the back there. Try to give yourself a little more room than that. There it is. Flip the little latch down. Then we're going to screw down our LCD. Then we're going to lay our digitizer down and test the unit. Test the volume, test the hold switch or volume mute switch, test functionality of the digitizer, test the power button, make sure that works, test the home button. We have sound, you can hear it unlocking. Test the cameras, got front, got back, baby got back. Okay, so everything seems to be functional. Now time to lay our adhesive.
Anything you want to watch out for?
Nope. You're going to be laying it on the metal only, not the black. We do not want the adhesive going into the black border, just on the metal. Then I press this down right here with all this overhang. This particular one, you gotta kind of go in from this side. Normally it goes a little smoother than that. Now these pieces usually go for the home button. If you gotta actually replace the digitizer, you'll pop this off, and then this is new adhesive. But since we don't have anything right here, we'll just place them right there. Seems as good as place as any. Blow out any debris that we might have in there. Looks good. Remove all our adhesive covers. And this one. Then we're going to make sure that we got our flex going in, which we do. Going to adhere this side first, and then press down on that. And we are all done. Make sure everything's good. Home button works. Slides to unlock. Volume up, volume down. Hold. Sleep, wake. Good. And that is the reassembly process on an iPad 2.